Bringing a legend back to life on screen is never easy. But when that legend is Michael Jackson, it becomes almost impossible. This isn't just about casting an actor. This is about recreating one of the most iconic figures in human history. A performer whose voice, dance, and presence changed the world forever. From the moonwalk to the unforgettable stage energy, every single detail is burned into the minds of millions of fans. So when news broke that Jaafar Jackson would take on this role, the internet instantly exploded. Some people were excited. Others were skeptical. And almost everyone asked the same question: what made him the only choice? At first glance, the answer seems obvious: family. Jaafar Jackson isn't just any actor stepping into this role. He is the nephew of Michael Jackson. He grew up surrounded by the Jackson legacy, in a world where music, performance, and global fame weren't distant ideas. They were part of everyday life. But here's the truth. Being related to a legend doesn't guarantee success. In fact, it raises the stakes even higher. Because now, people expect more than just a good performance. They expect authenticity. They expect perfection. They expect to feel like they are watching Michael Jackson again, not someone pretending to be him. And that's where things start to get interesting. Because early glimpses of Jaafar in character didn't just show resemblance, they showed something deeper. The way he moves, the way he carries himself, the subtle expressions in his face. It all feels incredibly natural, not forced, not exaggerated, almost like muscle memory. That kind of presence can't be easily taught in acting classes. It comes from years of exposure, from understanding the rhythm, the energy, the essence of the person you're portraying. And for Jaafar, that connection runs deeper than most people can imagine. But this casting decision wasn't made lightly. The filmmakers knew exactly what was at stake. With Antoine Fuqua directing, a filmmaker known for intense character-driven stories, and Graham King producing, the expectations were already sky high. This is the same producer behind Bohemian Rhapsody, a film that successfully brought another music legend to life. So the pressure wasn't just to make a good movie. It was to create something unforgettable. Something that could stand alongside the legacy of Michael Jackson himself. Reports suggest that the search for the right actor was extensive. Many talented performers could imitate Michael's dance moves. Others could match his look with makeup and styling. Fashion wasn't enough. What they needed was someone who could capture the spirit, the emotional depth behind the performances. Someone who could show not just the superstar, but the human being behind the fame. And time after time, Jaafar Jackson kept standing out. Not because he was the easiest choice, but because he felt like the right one. There's also something incredibly powerful about the idea of legacy. This isn't just a story being told by outsiders looking in. This is a story being carried forward by someone who is part of that history. Someone who understands the pressures, the expectations, and the reality of living in the shadow of greatness. For Jaafar, this role isn't just about acting, it's about honoring his uncle. About respecting the legacy while also bringing something new to it. And then, there's the challenge of balance. Because Michael Jackson's life wasn't simple. It was filled with extraordinary success, groundbreaking achievements, and moments that changed the music industry forever. But it also included controversy, struggles, and intense public scrutiny. Intense public scrutiny. Portraying all of that on screen requires more than talent. It requires courage. It requires the ability to step into a complex story and present it in a way that feels honest and respectful. As more behind-the-scenes footage began to surface, fans started to notice something remarkable. The way Jaafar performs doesn't feel like an act. It feels immersive. The posture, the timing, the way he transitions between movements. It all mirrors Michael in a way that feels almost surreal. And slowly, the conversation began to shift. Skepticism turned into curiosity. Curiosity turned into excitement. Then excitement turned into anticipation. But perhaps the biggest reason Jaafar Jackson became the only choice is something you can't measure or train. It's connection. Not just physical resemblance or technical skill, but an emotional connection to the story being told. Because at the end of the day, this film isn't just about showing what Michael Jackson did. It's about showing who he was. And telling that story requires someone who can feel it, not just perform it. Whether this film becomes a global success or faces criticism, one thing is already clear. It has captured the world's attention. People are watching closely. They're analyzing every detail. Because when it comes to Michael Jackson, expectations will always be higher than normal. And maybe that's exactly why this casting decision matters so much. Because in a world where legends are often imitated but rarely truly understood, finding someone who can even come close is incredibly rare. And for this film, that someone turned out to be Jaafar Jackson. And maybe, just maybe, he wasn't just the best choice. He was the only one.